ChatGPT basically requires us to give it some words or to give it some instructions so that it can perform that task for us. So chatgpt.com is something that you can go to. Okay, chatgpt.com in your web browser. And then you have two options, login or sign up. So if you're new, you have to simply press on sign up and put your email ID. Okay. Now, because I have already put my registered email address, so now I'm going to just log in. And then you can put your email address. I have done it with Google, so I'll just go ahead with my Google account. Okay, it's a very simple process. See, it was just a one-step thing. Same you can just do for sign up. Okay, and then you'll get this interface. Okay, so now this is the main interface. It's going to be very easy. It's just like using Google. Just in Google, as you type in the search box, you have this message ChatGPT bar at the bottom of your screen. Over there, you will be entering all of your prompts. Okay, so abhi prompting, it's like a very good skill that has been developed just because ChatGPT came into picture. So what is prompting? Ever since ChatGPT was released, I'll do slideshow again and I'll go back when we are prompting. Okay. तो जैसे कि the thing is कि if I have certain task to be done and if I say that okay ChatGPT write one blog for me at how AI is getting better every day. So if I just give that one line prompt, ChatGPT will give a very general answer. Okay, let's try it out. So this is what ChatGPT looks like. If you see at the bottom, I'm going to type over there, write a blog on how AI is developing. Okay, this is one sample I have. Very simple prompt. I'll just put it. I just have to press enter. That's it. Now it's doing the entire job for me. Okay, so it is writing the full blog step by step. Okay, so you see all of this is now possible. And one thing as teachers, you would be knowing that now even some students have started using ChatGPT. So if you are aware of all of these things and you can also better see that, okay, has my student used this for their homework, yes or no? You will be able to identify that and come out with, like people actually using this or no. And then you will be able to train the students on what is the right way and what's the wrong way. So I think this is very important, especially for teachers, to know what all is possible. Um, okay, so you see, it gave me an entire blog and it took less than 1 minute, right? So, so this is the power of ChatGPT. But today, we are going to learn that how do you make the output better. Now, for example, write a blog on how AI is developing. It's a very, very simple prompt. If I type this prompt, I got this blog. Now, if all 22, let's say 21 others are there in this call, okay, apart from me. If all 21 of you also type this same prompt, you will also get a very similar response. Not the exact same, but similar. Like some parts, early days will be similar. Maybe wordings will be different, but the idea will be very same, right? So that's why we are going to learn today how you can prompt better and how you can get better answers so that it will help you in your journey. Okay. So I'll show you also what all areas are possible with this. Okay. So all of this is now possible with ChatGPT, but now we will learn prompting. Okay. So yeah. So basically now all of these things that you will hear, okay, I'm going to mention 2, 3 different tools, and all of these tools are used widely amongst all the people who are using ChatGPT. These are called as LLMs. So LLM stands for large language models. Okay. So what is this? It's basically, it has been trained on the entire data of the world. Okay, so you see all the Facebook posts that are public, all the news posts that are public, Wikipedia posts, every data point that is public, all of the books, all of that information has been fed into AI, and AI has sort of learnt everything. It has a brain now, it has taken all of that information in its mind, and it gives us answers based on all of that information of the entire world. Okay, so that is why the word is called as large language models uh, when we are talking to chat gpt. Okay, they work very similar to how the human brain works. So if you see a child, when a child starts learning new words, they associate fruit with apple, they associate all of these words in their mind. And similarly, AI also learns in that way. It has this cloud of words that it has in its brain, and that's how it gives us the answers. Okay, so we are not going to go in the depth of this, but I just want to show you some tools other than ChatGPT that are possible. So there is one tool called as Claude, and there is one more tool called as Gemini. Okay. Claude is something that you don't need to consider for today, but I will show you Gemini because Gemini is also very, very interesting. So in Google, you just have to go ahead and type gemini.google.com. I will put it in the chat also for anyone who wants to save it. Okay. So Gemini is also another LLM tool. Okay. LLM means large language model. This is the AI that is developed by Google team themselves. So this is really cool because now if you see ChatGPT, it has another set of data that is fed in its brain, but Gemini has everything possible. So for example, lakhs and crores of people these days are searching for something on Google, and they are interacting with Google in some way. Um, all of that. They have Gmail, they have YouTube. So all of this knowledge is combined with the Gemini app, and that is why it is very, very powerful. Okay. So again, it works in the very similar way as compared to ChatGPT. You just have to sign up using Google. Very simple process. Okay, so it can help you. It has given some sample prompts that you can use, and you can enter your prompt at the bottom corner. Okay, so it can also, I'll just show you some ways in which it can help you. It can help you write emails, it can help you write social media posts, it can help you gather research. Okay, so as a teacher, maybe at some specific areas, you need to do research for one particular topic. And I think Gemini can really, really help you over there. Okay, so that all is possible. Let me just show you one simple example that they have given over here. Okay, I'm sick and I need help with crafting a text message for my boss. Okay, I'll just use the sample that they have given. Okay, so you can see the prompt has automatically appeared here because it is a sample prompt. Write a text message. Instead of text message, I'll just make it email. Okay, write an email I can send to my boss calling in sick today. It's a big team presentation day, so I'm sad to let everyone down. Okay, so I just want to show you how it can do multiple things. We saw how it can write a blog in ChatGPT, and now we are going to see how it can write email. So this was generated in 2 seconds. You see, I just put in that and it gave the entire email. Yeah, it's really mind blowing, right? So you see subject calling in sick today's presentation. So email subject is there. Then it gave the entire email. So dear, you can just change boss's name. I'm writing to inform you that I woke up feeling unwell this morning and I won't be able to come to office. I apologize for any inconvenience, especially on the day of our team presentation. I'm truly disappointed to miss the presentation and all of that. I'll be checking email throughout the day in case of urgent questions. Thank you for understanding. This is very good, right? Now, if I'm sick and if I mean, I might not even have the energy to write an email. So something like this will really help, right? So AI can help you do all of this, and it's very interesting. Okay, so let's see some things that Gemini can do. Okay, so now I will take an example of, I think, okay, let's say that I am conducting a webinar for my students, and my topic is mental health. Okay, so I think Shweta was giving an introduction, and maybe like this could be relevant to her. So let's take one example. Let's say that you are giving this entire presentation and this entire session on mental health, and basically you want to watch a few YouTube videos so that you can take some good points from that. Okay, and as you all know, YouTube belongs to Google and this Gemini also belongs to Google. That's why they work very well together. Okay, so I'll type a prompt here. See, you can see the bottom. I'll type a prompt something like, give me a list of 10 YouTube videos uh, that talk about, okay, give me a list of top 10 YouTube. Okay, so let's say that I just want to take the research from the top 10 YouTube videos that talk about mental health. Okay, so now because it is integrated with YouTube, it will, I don't even have to go to YouTube and search and then check which video has got good views, which video has got a good number of comments, something like that. Okay, this will actually do all of the hard work for me and will just give me the list. So there it is. It took how many seconds? Not even 5 seconds. Okay, so it gave me a list of the top YouTube videos on mental health. And now let's say that I'm doing research for my webinar. I will definitely use all of this. So that's how it can be beneficial, right? Let's say, uh, okay, let's say now this is a video. Let's see what this is about. Okay, so you can see this is like a 5 minute video. Okay, 5 minutes video you can see. Now, let's say now I am preparing a webinar and maybe I really don't have time to go through all of the 10 videos. Each must be 10 minutes, 15 minutes long. So what I can do is I can simply take the link of YouTube from here. I can say, summarize this video for me. Okay, so maybe sometimes videos are very long, right? YouTube videos could be 1 hour long if there's a big podcast video, and maybe you don't have time to go through all of that. So you can simply paste the YouTube link and you can say, summarize this video for me. Okay, so it gave a good summary. This video talks about, like, you don't even have to sit and watch all of the videos, like if you're doing some very high amount of tedious work. Okay, video talks about how to cope with negative emotions. Speaker in the video says that our lives may look perfect online, but we may be struggling. She shares her experience. Okay, so this is how I can use Gemini, this app called as Gemini. Again, it's free to use. You don't have to pay anything. It can be amazing for research because it has latest information. Okay, so as you know, if any news comes out, Google knows it first because Google has a list of all the news articles. But ChatGPT does not have the data that is latest and up to date. So if you want something that has latest information, you can simply ask Gemini, give me a list of top 10 articles that are trending about mental health, something like that. Okay, based on whatever your topic is. So it can fetch all the latest information from the internet and it can give that to you. And it can also summarize YouTube videos. And let's ask more. Okay, so let's say this, it has given a good summary of the video, but I don't have some takeaway points. So what I'll say is, give me 5 key takeaways from the above video. Basically, you can ask it any question from any video and it will save up a lot of your time. See, now you already have the answer. It went through the entire video and it gave me top 5 key takeaways that I can take from that. Okay, now I can basically use this information to create my presentation if I'm delivering a talk or something like that. So this is how you can use all of these different tools. ChatGPT is one and Gemini is the other tool. Okay. So what you will all learn today basically is, as we saw, right, we can ask ChatGPT something like write a blog, and we can ask Gemini something like give me latest information or something like that, right? But the thing is that everyone, whoever is using ChatGPT, is writing in the same way. So how can we all learn to be a little bit different? Okay, so there is this term called as there's this term called, hello.
AI, artificial intelligence. तेच आहे आम्हाला सगळ्यांना. आणि ते जे
Yeah.
इंटर्नशिप तू बोलताय ना आई, थर्ड
Anyone has
इयरच्या
any
नंतर
question?
करावी.
Sonali ma'am, please unmute your mic. Please mute your mic, Sonali ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So what I was saying is that there is this thing called as garbage in, garbage out. Okay, this is also a term used in some engineering form, but basically what it means is if I give a bad prompt, the answer that it will give me is also going to be bad, and I'll show you how. Okay. So if you see, I gave a very simple prompt. Now anyone can give this, and if you see the answer, now it feels like very big paragraphs, and it is not very interesting for the reader to read. Okay, now if I want to write a blog on this, if I post it, no one is going to read it. And maybe as a teacher, if you want to deliver some subject in a very interesting way, how can you bring that flavor in your basically in your teaching style? You can use chat gpt for that. Okay, so I'll show you how you can do that. So basically chat gpt is all about prompting, and it's the basics of getting started with using chat gpt. Okay, so prompt is the task that we give to an AI. Okay, all the tasks that we give, like reading, like going through the YouTube video, like writing a blog, writing an essay, creating a plan for my diet, something like that. It can do anything possible. Okay, um, so you can consider it like an intern. Okay, if you are basically if you have some intern that you work with, and if you do not give them proper instructions, you understand that they will not do the job properly, right? And if you very well explain to the intern that okay, this is how I really want the task to be done, that's when they will understand that oh wow, these are the requirements and that's how I need to get it done. So consider ChatGPT like an intern that will help you in any task that you can do. Okay, so I'll give you one example. Now let's say there's a boss and he wants to tell his intern one task, that get me food. Okay, now maybe the intern will go and get some food, and that food may be spicy, that food may have some allergies, and it will be very bad for that person. But if the instruction are like, here is a 500 rupees note, please get me food that is not fried, high in proteins. I'm also allergic to peanuts, and make sure the food doesn't have peanuts and it's not spicy. Okay, so you see the difference between this prompt, get me food, and this prompt below, right? In which case will the intern be able to do a good job? It's definitely the second one, right? Because the instructions are very clear. So that is similarly, yes, second one. That is exactly how you have to prompt ChatGPT. Okay, so consider ChatGPT like a very nice intern you have, and if you give it very good instructions, it will do the job wonderfully for you. So that is what we will learn today. It's a small thing we will learn. Okay, um, and one more thing before that. Basically, ChatGPT can give you output like we saw over here. This is a text format output, right? But how many different other types are possible is basically it can also give you if anyone is into coding, it can give you a code as an output. If you are into mathematics, it can also give you formula and output. It can give you tables, it can give you excel sheets, csv, everything is possible. It can give you graphs as an output. Okay, so chat gpt if used correctly, it can really help you reduce your workload. Okay. So now we are going to learn one prompt formula that will work wonders for you. And I'm sure that all of you, if you just go ahead and try out ChatGPT today after the session is over, just make sure to use this one formula while prompting. Okay, and if you use this formula, you will actually be better than most of the people who use ChatGPT, because we are actually learning to make AI work better for us, right? And that's why we have to basically learn the most basics of AI, that is prompting. Okay, so this is the magic prompt formula. It's divided into four parts: context, task, instruction, and example. So what do we mean by this? So basically, if I'm starting to give a prompt to an AI, what I'll say is, instead of just saying write a blog, I'll say that you are an expert in artificial intelligence. So I will give it some context, I will give it some role. Okay, so basically when it has a role in mind, it is able to use only that specific information and give the output in a much better way. Okay, so context will be something like you are an expert in the field of artificial intelligence, and I will say you have a lot of domain knowledge related to this field. So now it has a better understanding of what it has to fetch data from. Okay, that is the first part called as context. Second part is task. Now you have to be very, very specific with the task. So, like I had mentioned before, write a blog. So, not just that. You have to be very specific. You have to say, I am writing a blog to target people in the age group of 25 to 55 who are interested in learning more about using AI in their own fields. Okay. So, basically, this is what the task is supposed to look like. You have to be extremely specific. The more specific you can get with the task, the better it is. Okay, so some examples of task I can give from the introductions I had heard at the start. Okay, let's say, yeah, I remember someone was a Hindi teacher, if I was not mistaken. So it can also work in Hindi, by the way. ChatGPT can also understand Hindi. So that is great. It's not as good as English, but it does a good job. Okay, let's say you want to conduct a quiz for your students in Hindi. So the task would be my students are in the second standard. You can mention the age group also, 9 to 10 years or whatever it is. You can mention my students are in the age group of dash. I have just finished teaching them dash dash topic. Mention the topic, and then you can say I want to create a quiz so that my students feel more engaged, and it is like a gamified process for them. So based on this topic, give me 10 quiz questions that I can ask my students. Okay, so this is how the task should look like. Basically, you have to be very, very specific. Okay, so that is the task. Then instruction. So instruction means you have to get even more specific. You can say something like, um, you can say something like, don't include, don't include examples that come from dash dash. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'm so sorry. There's someone on the door. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we were basically at instruction. So instruction means you have to get even more specific. You can give examples also. For example, you can say that when we had conducted this quiz, you can give some sample question that you have taken before. So you can say this was the quiz we conducted earlier, and students found it very engaging. And then you can give that. Then you can give some examples that these are some examples that students did not find very interesting. So you can give that. Okay, so instruction means you can uh, be very specific about what is working or what do you want in your prompt and what do you not want. Okay, and examples data can also be very similar. For example, or data, you can probably feed it like one chapter of your textbook or some information already available online. And you can say, this is the entire text. I want some quiz questions exactly from all of this text. So that is the data that you can feed it. Okay, so this is how the magic prompt formula works. So now I will also show you how this will get even better. Now this example I have already taken of what context task example data is. So I won't take this example right now, but I will show you how I can use it, right? Okay, now let's take the same prompt, okay? So let's say I want to write a blog on how AI is developing, but now I will give it very, very specific instruction. Okay, so just see what I'm prompting right now here. So I will
Nidhi,
say,
can we take the example what you had given us the before quiz wala,
okay, fine.
something
So
related to teachers? Yeah.
yeah, let's do that. So let's take one example for teachers. So we need like some data example for that. Okay, let me just see what I can fetch. Okay, anyone has any like idea that they can give? So I can just take some data from the internet and use. Any specific area you want me to create quiz from? Okay, I'm seeing the chat. Grammar. Okay, this is good. Uh, so yeah, can you specify which standard students you're targeting for grammar? Seventh. Okay, fine. This is good. Let's take this example. Okay. So I will start with context. I will say you are an expert. I will give it some, basically I'll give it a persona so that it has some idea of who it should be. English teacher. Okay, let's go with English teacher. So I'll give it some context that says you are an expert English teacher who specializes in grammar. Okay, so this is the context part. Now I will give it the task. Your task is to create 10 quiz questions for my students. Okay, now this is our task, but let's get more specific. So what was the formula? It was instruction and example. Okay, so instructions, right? So instructions, what I can give is, okay, first, students who are in the 7th standard. Okay. Now instruction. Instruction will be something like, you need to make the questions engaging for the students so that their interest in learning continues. Something like that. Okay, I'm just giving some example for now. Okay, so this is my set of instruction that I want the questions to be very engaging and interesting so that students, so that the interest in learning continues. Okay, now our next was data. So we can provide data that is optional. Now, if, for example, maybe if I'm a teacher and I have like a list of grammar questions already ready with me, I can provide that as data so it can learn what to pick and what not to pick. But for now, I'm just skipping that step. You can definitely do that. Okay, so that is basically how my prompt is going to look like. Okay, you see the steps. It is context, it is task, example, instructions. Okay, so let's see what are the quiz questions that I get. Okay, so we are getting all the 10 questions. Okay. So these are 10 engaging and interesting questions. Let's see any one. So the second one, correct the sentence. She don't like eating vegetables. Task, correct grammatical error. So it will be she doesn't. Very nice. ChatGPT, if you install ChatGPT app on your phone, it can actually speak to you as well. Okay, so this is one thing that you can try today. Um, Basically, if you are stuck, it can basically see if you are solving a maths problem. You can place your camera on top of that, and while you're solving, you can ask ChatGPT whether I'm solving it correctly or no. So it can give you feedback as well. Definitely a great thing to try out. Now let's try Hindi. The thing is that ChatGPT is not that great with Hindi, but we can still try. It has a list of languages that it is using. So let's do with Hindi. Okay, so I think Anuradha, which standard students like do you want for this for Hindi? I'll start a new chat. So there's this new chat button on the left if you see. I'll start new chat. Grade 5. Okay. So I'll just paste the same prompt. I'll make it Hindi. And do you want Hindi grammar or something else? Grammar. Okay. So I have said you're an expert Hindi grammar, a teacher who specializes in grammar. Your task is to create 10 questions for my students who are in the 5th grade. Let's see grade, because actually ChatGPT has some US knowledge, so standard and grade it maybe needs that distinction. Okay, so I'll keep the rest of the prompt as it is. I think it would be great if you have, basically, if you want some Hindi chapter to be included, let's say, and you have a soft copy of that, you can upload a PDF also. You can say, this is the chapter I have taught my students. You can take some examples from this also. So it will take examples right from that chapter. But now, because we don't have that, I'll just feed this. Let's see how it does. ओके, सही विकल्प चुनो। राम खेलते खेलता है, रिक्त स्थान भरे, शुद्ध वाक्य चुनो। सही। Is this good enough for 5th standard? What do you think, Anuradha? And the others also. Very useful, right? Yeah. Great. So see, you see, that is how it can be done, right? Now, what regular, like people who don't know how to use ChatGPT properly, what they'll simply do is they'll say just create 10 questions for people in science or maths or something like that. But you just learned today that you need to be very, very specific. You have to provide a role at the start. So if you're a science teacher, you can basically provide ChatGPT a role saying that you are an expert science teacher and something like that, right? Okay, actually, they have different grammar according to syllabus. So, what Ranjan says, they have different grammar. So, that this is a good thing that we realized here, right? Now, based on whatever data ChatGPT has within its brain, as we saw, it has just used that data and given us the output. But if you really want to make ChatGPT like a very powerful game changer, you can see there's this attach button also. Now, I can attach anything from my computer, right? I'll show you how that works. Basically, let's say that your school syllabus is very different from what ChatGPT has given. Okay, so what you can do is, I think a lot of school textbooks these days have PDFs available, so you can feed the entire PDF to ChatGPT. Okay, I have one PDF sample book with me right now. It's a book called Measure What Matters. It's a very famous book. Okay, what I had done is, once it there is one more tool I mentioned, Claude. So I had fed this entire tool. It's very similar to ChatGPT. I had fed this entire tool to Claude, and I wanted some answers that I wanted to be answered from this book only. And this is, if you see, this is like a 276 pages book. Okay, and now it knows that it has to only take data from this. Basically, if I want to use some information from this and create my own article, I can use that also. So basically, you can make it even better by providing data. So do we have to mention state board too? You can mention state board as well, but basically it does not have that knowledge stored in it by itself. So it would be very good, as I mentioned in this slide also, if you provide the last point, that is example or data, it will work wonders for you. So what I usually do for my work is I upload those PDFs and then I can restructure that and make it into another format. So yeah, I think the best way would be if you have some PDFs of your chapters, just upload that and then ask ChatGPT that, okay, uh, I have provided this PDF for you. Let me do that again and show you. Okay, I have uploaded a PDF. I will say, give me, for now, for this example, I'm just going to type very quickly. Okay, so this is what will really help you. Yeah, so it has been uploaded. You see, 276 pages document was uploaded, and it has read the entire document in 10 seconds or even less than that. And then it has prepared 5 quiz questions from that. Okay. So how cool is that, right? Like imagine before ChatGPT, going through the entire book, it would have taken like at least few days to read the book. Then finding quiz questions, then writing it down. Easily it is a 2 or 3 week job for one person. But this was done in like less than 10 or 20 seconds, right? So that's how powerful ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is free to some extent. Now, if you have used ChatGPT 4.0, it is free, but maybe on in 2 3 days you can only upload one PDF. So for that they have paid version also. So if you are a teacher and if you really want to use this every day, they have a paid option in which you can go to settings and then go for paid option also.